And you've proven it yourself. With this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a true professional could be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. It was my ejection chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Now back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. Like, I'd immediately say we already know she's not trustworthy because she's clearly been confused about what the victim was wearing when she says it clearly. She's lied multiple times, or at least given false testimonies initially. So why should we trust anything she said up to this point, and to the point in the future? Thank you, Your Honor. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Are you sure about that? Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? She saw her do it. The part where your sister stabs the victim. The next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Chief Prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Attorney Wright gets bitten by snake. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There's a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? This is where I can object. As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Press. You said you were behind a fence. How could you possibly be 30 feet away behind a fence and still get to her quickly? I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lynchland car was... She was in a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. There's no way she could have gotten there. So she witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there's a chain link fence in front of you, right? I went over it, of course. Amazing. The cop-out queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken a little time to climb over the fence. So she could have gotten to my sister. Couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. How come this guy didn't get away? When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Why? She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I'd have to have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Phone? You mean her cell phone? This cell phone? By phone, do you mean this cell phone that discovered at the scene of the crime? This is where I contradict her because it lasted only a couple seconds. She didn't have a conversation. Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory, it's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Cell phone updated. Just gonna check this. Oh, fuck, I had to actually like rotate all the way around here. What did this say again? No need to push this again. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind, it's nothing. Fuck you. Fucking save state. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resistance. Let's present the cell phone. Just in case. Because what I want to say on this is, because I don't know if he will say this, this call only, she said the call ended immediately. So let's see if this works. Nope, it doesn't. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck you, sir. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm trying to use the cell phone on the wall. Can I press her again? Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. When she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. She pulled out her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. And when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Chief prosecutor made to escape, but against it. Let's try pressing this and then hope to God that contradiction works. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a plate of foie gras. She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she just run the other way? The other way? The car entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish you would solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Skye tried to run. I'm sorry, my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. I'm not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. Save state again, because I actually don't want to just go through the same shit I just did. She kept trying to use the phone on the wall and just used her cell phone. Let's fucking present this and hope to God this works this time. It didn't work this time. try this. Your Honor, I want to fucking die. Because this is awful. It's goddamn Lotta Heart all over fucking again. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? I fucking hate this so much. Quickly caught her. Right, say quickly. Same thing. Just keep pressing. I should have just left it fucking alone. See, the thing is, the way I want to fucking object, it's not objecting the way I want it to be. Because I want to just tell her, yeah, the phone call didn't last very long. It lasted 2 seconds and immediately was ended. So she didn't have time to mention the word muffler on there. So, like, fuck off. Quickly caught her. Press on this. Just one more time. Oh. I'm behind a partition. If I press this, oh, I get 4 plans. Like, I'm trying to see if there's any fucking new information we got from it, but there's not. What evidence do we have? Nothing here, nothing. Parking stub, nothing. Nothing. Fuck all. Fuck all here. Okay, well, floor plans is the only thing I got here. Like when she says resistance, I'll try objecting. Let's try this. Nope. Fuck. I don't know what the fucking game wants right here. That's the problem. But why would she fucking mention a muffler? Like she still doesn't have a fucking muffler on. Fuck. She gave up and just used the phone. I mean, why would she be using fucking... Chief prosecutor tried to make her escape. Fuck. I want to just fucking use the cell phone to object, but it won't fucking let me. I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ. Let's try objecting to this. You say quickly, it's not quickly at all. No, it's not. Let's try this. Does this work? Okay, it works. I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lena Sky. I don't know how that works from that, but okay, it works. Objection! The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Don't care. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't either. I've just been randomly showing evidence to everything. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen this guy making that phone call. Ugh. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back side of the partition. If indeed you were in Block B, how you couldn't have seen it? What? What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. He's not coughing up lunch, he's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told in the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw, where she saw it. Oh, where she saw it. She tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. It would be pointless for her to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. The witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. In other words, Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my life pointless, at least tell me this. Let me ask you a question to our clever ward. Where was the witness and where was she when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now point in one direction. The place where she witnessed the crime was here. Well, it could be the security room, but... This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot. It is well positioned. It's built on the second level so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in Block A. She's not technically allowed to. She still could. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember your testimony. You said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could have been turned. Today's a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Let me fucking out of here. Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back now. The guilty will be punished. I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't have changed anything. Exactly. This photograph tells the whole. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without good reason. So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? The angle of view, the distance of the crime, difference in lighting. The angle of view. Why the angle at which the crime would occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important, why? She wouldn't have been able to see it. She would have only seen the back of the victim, the killer. She wouldn't have actually seen the front of them. Are you fucking joking? Oh, I swear to fucking Christ. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Everything. I fucking hate this trial. I fucking hate this trial. It's not that she'd have a fucking 3D image. She wouldn't have been able to see the fucking killer. And it would have changed that the photo was on the other side. Why is the photo set up if she wasn't in there? Jesus, tap dancing. Fucking Christ. But no, I can't object that. Because, reasons. Remember testimony. Like, who gives a fuck about the lighting? I wish I could fucking skip this faster, even though this would be fucking cut out. Fucking save now. Distance to the crime. I don't know why that one fucking changed. Because if you fucking look, it's not that far of a difference, that is. Like, you know, she said she was like right here, like right at the edge of one versus here. I mean, I guess. Fucking distance. I mean, both of these can fucking combine together. Swear to God if this is right. Change the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to get from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone down lately. I was bringing a PBJ lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Okay, yeah, this is fucking awful. That's why I had to go through the visitor's parking lot in Block B. That's quite a detour. Yeah, she would have been gone by then. Shut the fuck up. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? That directly contradicts that you said you got there fast. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have a photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Raise an objection. We'll find out something later. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the rest. Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. I mean, I do. I don't know about 5 minutes. It really depends on the pasta. Some sure. If you get really thin stuff, or if you make it really thin, then it's good. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. What? 5 minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hold on. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. Fuck off. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of the testimony. She has a grudge against the defendant and there's a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. You did it. You screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I know. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Fucking thank Christ. No. No. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defensive team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What's that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker. Jesus Christ. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the scene of the crime. And now, the matter of the victim's shoe, I did not bring this up. 2 types of blood were found on his shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other was the defendant, Miss Lena Sky's blood. This shoe proves it was flawless, decisive evidence. What? It has nothing to fucking do. What? There was blood found on the shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. What does that have to do with anything? Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Thought you only had 1. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You should know the 2 rules of evidence law, Miss Starr. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is illegal evidence, and at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. Used to be, keyword. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, but if none of the lawyers bring it up into court, it can't be admissible into the court of law. But, you know. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law. Really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. Well, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim shoe added. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine. Fucking Christ.